But isn't it interesting how all of these Democrat-run cities and states are now talking about, well, it's time to reopen. It's time to reopen the bars and restaurants. Why? Well, we're finally on top of COVID. I mean, is it any coincidence that it just happens to be completely aligned with Joe Biden's inauguration? I mean, is COVID-19 now going to be over with now that we don't need to dump Trump anymore? I mean, is that what we've got going on? It surely looks suspicious in terms of timing from these people who said basically we could never reopen. I mean, Andrew Cuomo said it's time to reopen
New York City. I was just going to say that.
Time to reopen New York. Wow, I wonder why that is, Andrew. How about Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, committed leftist herself, says now, just as of Thursday of last week, has now called for the city's restaurants and bars to be reopened as soon as possible, saying that it will prevent COVID-19 from spreading. Oh, okay. I guess this is just the game they're going to play with us then. Oh, now it's going to prevent COVID-19 from spreading to reopen the bars and restaurants. She says, I feel very strongly that we're very close to a point when we should be talking about opening up our bars and restaurants. And they said that they could roll these back as soon as last Friday. Now, I got a report from a friend in Chicago that the city's coming back to life. I mean, isn't it right on cue?
Everybody's allowed in but Trump.
Right on cue. That's right. And don't wear your MAGA hat or you might be spreading COVID. You won't be allowed into the bar and restaurant in that case. But and we didn't really get a chance to get to the Parler story, just briefly to touch on that. It's like Alexei Navalny talked about President Trump being censored from Twitter, and they say, oh, well, just go to another platform or whatever. Well, and that's what people were doing. They were going to this platform Parler, and then lo and behold, in a concerted effort, all the Silicon Valley giants, Apple booted them off the App Store, Amazon Web Services booted them off their server with like less than 24 hours notice. Said they were encouraging violent extremism. Hello, we just went through all the stories on the show about who the violent extremists were at the Capitol, and it was all leftists. So were they on Parler? By the way, none of those people had a Parler account. They all had Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts, which is a Facebook company. Some of these, the organization of the rally occurring at the Washington Monument on January 6th, the Antifa rally, that was done partly on Facebook. So those are the companies that are encouraging the violence. If you want to say that any company that allows something to be published on their platform is encouraging it. But anyway, they shut Parler down completely. Less than 24 hours notice. Parler's just gone. Now, there was something posted just within the past couple of days, something posted by the Parler CEO who claims he's had to go into hiding, he and his entire family, due to the massive number of death threats that he's receiving. But he posted something saying, hello, world, is this thing on? And people say that tends to indicate, one, that they're back up and running at some level, and they must have found some new servers to host their platform. But, you have to wonder, were they able to back everything up, and were they back that up on a separate server? I mean, is everything to date going to be lost? I guess we'll just have to wait and find out if and when Parler is coming back and at what level, because if you got an iPhone like I do, I mean, you can't get an app that's not on the App Store. So unless they're officially approved by Apple, you can't even get an app to get on the system. So we'll see. But point is, they tell you, these are private companies. You don't like it, just go start your own. And sure enough, when you go start your own, they shut that one down. Because the truth is, this is all about censorship. That's what the truth is. This is not about private, this is all about censorship. This is about shutting down the voices of about 75 million people or more, an entire large segment, about half of our voting population. They don't want those people to have any voice whatsoever. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.